Hello and welcome to my studio. My name is Sylvain Rochon from homestudiologic.com. And today I want to discuss how to prepare a session, a mixing session, so you can have success and you can have a great mix. So stick around. I'll show you what I do, which works pretty well. All right, so I'm in Logic. I've got a fresh new session. My good friend Stuart sent me some tracks for one of my songs that I'm working on right now, and I want to put them in a session, organize them, and then I can continue on recording tracks. But the first thing that I want to do, since he sent me like bass, guitars, drums, I want to make and keys, piano. I want to make sure that everything is in my session, organized, and I'll show you what I do and how I do it. I'm going to give a few explanation along the way. So if you're a new person doing mixes, and well, you'll enjoy this. If you're a bit experienced, maybe you're doing it a different way, and maybe the way that I'm going to show you, you're going to like it, and you can try it in your future sessions. So let's start by importing the audio into the session. First thing that I must say, the most important thing is to set up the BPM to start with. Don't import your files before you do this, because if you import your files and you say, oh, I forgot to change the BPM, it's going to change the audio. You don't want that. So first things first, I know this song is at 73 BPM. So let's change that. The other thing is the bit rate, the sample rate, how it was recorded. I don't know if Stewart used 48 or 44.1. If by any chance he recorded at 44.1, I'm set up at 48. Logic will ask me, do I want to convert the files to match 48, or do I want to change the session to be at 44.1? So let's go get the files first, and then we'll discuss. So everything's there. I'm going to do Command A, and then I'm going to drag the files into the session. I always create new tracks. Sorry, it's taking a long time. There's a few. All right. First thing that I need to do is to set up the session's length to the right length. So you just grab that little arrow right here and you drag it. So now when you zoom out and you zoom back in, you see a full screen. That's the first thing. Now, what I like to do is to create what I call stacks, and I'll explain to you what are stacks. They're actually buses. So AG. So we've got some acoustic guitars right here. So let's create a stack for it. So there's a few ways you can create a stack. You can right click, create stack, or I use the short key Shift Command D. And before I decide to give it a name, I do Option C and I choose a color. And normally my acoustic guitars are light blue. You might choose another color, it's your choice. So AG, boom. Close the stack. Now he's got some saxophone here. So let's do the same thing. Summing stack. And the color for me, saxophone is always pink because the saxophone on my songs are recorded by my wife, and pink is her color. So sax. Bass. All right, so again, create a stack and choose a color. My bass is always purple. So rename this. Bear with me. I know this, you're seeing me create stacks, but it won't be too long. Electric guitars. Create a stack. Color. My electric guitars are always this blue, a darker blue. So EG. Then we've got drum kits. So I see that he's got electric drums. So let's create a stack for the electric drums separately from the actual kit. And my drums are always, or not orange, but red. So I'll just give that folder a different red. All right, so I'm gonna name it elect drums. And then I've got, he wrote Ammon. So I'm assuming this is a organ. Yeah, this is a organ. So I'm gonna leave it. I'm just gonna remove the drums out of the picture because there's a lot of tracks when it comes to drums. I'm just gonna select everything. All right, I've got all of them, so create a stack. And like I said, my drums are always red. And I'm gonna call it drums. All right, so now I've got some piano, and it's one track, so I'm not gonna play around with it. I've got organ, and I've got some synths. All right, so let's create a stack. Call this. And the color is always, for B, some sort of olive green, like this. All right, I'll create keys. Close the stack. And then we've got some vocals. All right, so vocals for me, lead vocals are orange. All background vocals are yellow. I know for a fact that it's a track that I sang the song, but he moved some things around, so it's really, and he played with my voice, so it sounds pretty weird. But the main lead vocal, if I choose a color, it's going to be orange. And this is also orange. It's a double that he's set up, but technically I don't need it. All right, so now that I have, so let's remove this one here. Okay, now that I've got set up all the stacks, oh, the swell symbol is going to go with the drums. Now in the drum section, first things first, overhead. Room mics. I saw a ride ride right here, I saw a hi-hat. And then I want to kick in. I want to kick out. I want to have, oh, the swell will be going against, oh, and it needs to be changed color. Oops, sorry, wrong button. So let's put it red. And then I've got snare. That normally goes here, and I like to have my snare top before my snare bottom. Don't ask me why. And then I've got rack 1, rack 2, floor 1, floor 2. So now in my brain, this is how I like to have my drum kit set up. So I don't search when I want to increase, let's say, the hi-hat. I know exactly where it is. All right, so that's a choice. Now, preparing the session for me. A lot of mixers are using track, well, the first one is drums, bass, guitars, and going downwards. I like to do it differently. So my pianos are always top. And first of all, the piano is normally a light green. Or something like that. No, like this. All right, and then I like to have my keys, second of all. Then I've got my AG, acoustic guitars. I've got my electric guitars. Whatever other instrument that is in the song, in this case it's saxophone, it's going to be after. Then the bass, the electronic drums, and the drums. And underneath the drums, all the way down, are all vocals. The reason why I'm doing it that way is that when you go to your mixer view, right here, if let's say you want to, I don't know, you mix the band and the band is a little bit loud compared to the vocal, and your vocal is at unity, and yes, you can go back here and you can go and increase the gain of the vocal, but depending on the output that you have right here, if your output is a little bit strong when with the band, you don't want to increase the lead vocal because you're going to clip, and you don't want to clip. So let's say you're close to clipping, the band is playing, you have no vocals yet, but the vocal is weak compared to the band. You just highlight everything concerning the band and you just bring it down. Make sense? Then you give some breathing room for your vocals. That's the reason why I'm doing it like this. So everything on this side of the mixing board and everything is instruments, and everything on that side of the mixing board are vocals. So far it makes sense. All right, so let me explain to you what is just hold on here. Let me explain to you what is a stack. First of all, a stack is a bus. So if you, for example, look at the keys. So when you have created that stack, okay, it says that this stack is bus number 7. 3 tracks here, the output of the tracks are going to bus 7. So bus 7 controls everything inside here. And then your bus 7, the output is the stereo out. But if you want, you could create another bus where you say maybe instruments, and you can send that stack, that bus 7, to, let's say, bus 22. Then bus 22 will go to the output. So it's a chain reaction if you want. So meaning that when you press play, if you want to mute what's going on bus 7, which involves 3 tracks, you can just hit the mute button and give you an example. Now, I don't know how loud they have been recorded, but let's give it a try. So I know that we have some acoustic guitars starting right here. So and acoustic guitars, as you can see, he already told me which one are left, which one are right, and so on and so forth. So I can actually pan them the way you recorded them. So I'm just going to do this. This is right, and this is left. Okay, so he said he's going like this. All right. All right. Doesn't really matter at this point. But I just want to show you how you can interact with that stack. Now let's say I don't want to have that, I don't want to hear that acoustic guitar. Let's bring it here. You see, I muted the stack and I don't have any acoustic guitar. Now, as for on the side here, the information that you're getting from Logic is that first you get the stack, and then the stack will show you the output, because the output of the stack is going to the stereo bus, the output. But if I choose AG01, then I'm being shown this track here, but it's giving me the bus. In the case of this AG, the bus is bus number 1. So it's giving me bus number 1 and telling me how loud this track is. And you can see here that it's going pretty loud here. All right, so I just hope that this gives you a clear picture of how to set up a recording or mixing session is to create stacks. Now, when you do mix, you can treat the stack as a whole, or you can go underneath. I call it going underneath the hood. You can go in it and you can EQ, do whatever you want to any one of them. But most of the time, if you EQ the stack, I would say 85% of the time, you're good. So that saves a lot of work when you're mixing. And we went from having a complete bunch of tracks, and now we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tracks to work with. And when I do create background vocals in harmonies, so it's going to go up by maybe 2 other stacks, because I like to have my harmonies and my background vocals separately. All right, so if you like content like this, subscribe to my channel, because I'm here to help any one of you. And if my practices, the way that I work, actually resonates with you and you like what I'm doing and you want to maybe do something similar, there's no rules. There's no rules about mixing. Whatever works for you, but if I can give you a tip that will actually say, I'm going to try that, well, I've reached my goal, because a lot of people are mixing without stacks or folders, and they have a bunch of tracks, and if they're not organized or color-coded, it can become a nightmare, because every time that you hear something, you go back to the track, and it creates chaos if you want. We'll see each other in the week. Take care, and thank you for watching.